All of my life, the morning sun has hurt my eyes, and yet they're still good. And in the evening, I can look straight into it and not get the blackness. Has more force in the evening too, but in the morning, it's painful. That's Ernest Hemingway from The Old Man and the Sea. Welcome aboard JC's Pride. We're on the south shore of Prince Edward Island. We're going lobster fishing. You swing around here through Borden, you'll find the fixed link to New Brunswick. That's the Confederation Bridge. I want to introduce you to the captain of JC's Pride, Captain Morris Gallant. Thank you for having us aboard, Morris, and tell us about the name of your boat.
The name of the boat, JC's Pride, come from my three boys, John, Chris, and Scott, and the boys named it. And that's why we have the JC's Pride.
Here's John right here. He's getting the bait ready as we get set to bring up a trap. Alan McQuarrie, get on out here. Alan, right on cue. one of the most unhappy men you'll ever meet. No, a great fisherman. Thanks, Alan, for setting us up here today. Wanted to do this on board a lobster fishing boat as we welcome you to our big show. We could have chosen the iconic figures of the Fathers of Confederation or Anne of Green Gables, but the fishery is so hockey. In The Old Man and the Sea, it tells the story of a fisherman who goes out 84 consecutive days, doesn't get a bite, doesn't land a fish. He's the laughing stock of the village, and yet he perseveres. Adam McQuaid brought the Stanley Cup home to Cornwall this fall. Irene had just rolled through. People partied on anyhow, had a great time. And in that, it was about overcoming ridicule. The Bruins had booted it against Philadelphia a year ago. They started this year against Montreal, went down 2-0, and Mark Recchi said, "Don't worry about it, guys. We were in the same boat in 2006 in Carolina. We came back. Man's not meant for defeat. He can be destroyed, but not defeated." Brad Richards, whose mom and dad, Glenn and Delight, fish over in Murray Harbor in the spring season here on PEI. Season's 60 days, just like the Stanley Cup playoffs. They keep at her, just like their son had to keep at her in 2004 when his team was in a funk mid-season. Brad came home to Prince Edward Island, had a visit with his buddies, went back, he was on fire, team was on fire, and they brought home the Stanley Cup. You know, Bradley had to leave this gorgeous scenery at the age of 14 to pursue his hockey career. There's another famous PE Islander who left the island at the age of 14. Hello. Stompin' Tom Connors. He left Skinner's Pond for the bright lights of the coffee houses and the concert halls. 5 days after Tom was off the island, he was pining for this place. And that's where we'll start. His little cradle in the waves, and an ode to the salt water and the renewal of winter, and that which we Canadians are born to do, play hockey.
There's a crescent-shaped island in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, my home cradled out in the waves. My garden of the Gulf, it's my million-acre farm, my home cradled out in the waves. There's an old mellow moon that shines there in June. He'll tell you of the good old country ways. He'll tell you with a smile there's no place like PEI, my home cradled out in the waves. Through those old northern lights, maritime stars are bright, shining brighter no stars can be found. From Tignish on the end down to Surrey back again, you'll love our famous city, Charlottetown. On old Prince Edward Island where the silver fox was born, Anne of Green Gables trod the ways. You should see the sunny tides down in good old Summerside, my home cradled out in the waves. The soil is so red and the ocean is fed by the little rivers running to and fro. My garden of the Gulf, it's my million-acre farm, my home cradled out in the waves. My little home cradled way out in the waves.
Glowing sapphire of a surrounding sea. It's the sea which makes Prince Edward Island. No matter where you wander in lands afar, the murmur of her waves summons you back. And even when this 1 million-acre farm is flash frozen and the Gulf of St. Lawrence is no longer wet, the small among the great find safe harbor, and they still put out the nets. Okay, huddle up everybody, let's gather around the net here. Welcome to Scotiabank's Hockey Day in Canada. Small towns, long nights all across the country. This is where the dream begins. Oh, careful, Harry. That's that heavy Maurice Richard sweater. Your dad, Troy. This is the most beautiful Montreal sweater. Look how nice that's knitted together. Okay, who's our hero?
Brad Richards!
And who's our other hero?
Brandon Gormley!
Brandon Gormley grew up a stone's throw away from here. We're 45 minutes southeast of Charlottetown. Through the hills, you can drive into beautiful Murray Harbor, the home of Brad Richards, of course. And that's our theme, is heroes. Brad, I met him really in 2005, and he taught me so much about not only hockey, but about the island way of life. He'd introduced me to folks, to places around the island that were special to him. So it's a real honor on behalf of Brad to welcome you to Murray Harbor and our show today to celebrate the idea of heroes. Brad's, of course, was mom and dad, Delight and Glenn, who were lobster fishermen. Glenn's dad, Percy, was a lobster fisherman. Percy's dad was a lobster fisherman. Brad grew up right here, and he would come down onto the harbor and skate, or over at his grandfather's place. And he said to Glenn one day, "Gee, Dad, I really love hockey. I know we have 3 generations of fishermen. Would it be okay if I pursue hockey?" He says, "Absolutely, son, so long as you fill the nets." So that's going to be the running theme of our show here today as well. We will talk about the dream of getting to the Olympic Games, to getting to the National Hockey League, but more than that, we'll celebrate the heroes that celebrate the game here on backyard rinks or on ponds around the nation. We're going to be all over. We'll be in Windsor, Nova Scotia in a moment. I'll check in with Colleen Jones at Long Pond. They have a wonderful museum there. We'll be in Verdun, Quebec. Montreal Canadiens have a big skate drive going on. We'll be in Thunder Bay. Scott Russell actually got his start in Prince Edward Island. He's up there with the Stahl family and the NHLPA's Goals and Dreams. We'll be in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, Manitoba. So that's how we'll get onto the prairies. Anybody here ever gone out west? Brad Richards, of course, got his start going out to Wilcox and Notre Dame School. In Winnipeg, we're at the Forks. In PA, there's a great hockey tournament going on. And in Richmond, BC, we'll be at the Oval for another celebration of hockey. But let's get things started. Windsor, Nova Scotia, we head to Long Pond and Colleen Jones. Hi, Colleen.